day in, day out, waiting on the inevitable. It's inevitable. You can think it ain't. You can think that it's always going to just be the same. Nothing's going to change. Nobody's going to do anything. It's just wasting your time. He said it before, you know, we're waiting, we're weighing it out. Did you weigh it out yet? How much longer do you want to wait? You know, if they wouldn't act like they're going to do things ahead of time, and then they wind up doing it later anyway, I guess we wouldn't be that impatient. They get more patient as we get impatient, because what they do is they wear out the camp of the saints. They just wear them out. They wear them out with sickness, disgust. It's obvious what they're up to, and then they'll give you a little bone here and there, and throw you a little world news dominating event over here, and then I'll tell you what they're going to do next with that event. The next thing happening is, you know, it's the 100 days. 100 days from August 31st, 2019. 10/9/2019. 10/9, 100 days. 100%. No lying. No more lying. Yeah, right. That's all it's going to be, is liars. Unless they put us back on, of course, after 3.5 days. It truly is one of the... It's one way, all right? I look at it as... I always gotta look at it as I'm in that position. If I was in the position of making a decision on who stays and who goes, I already know who has that decision. But if I was that person, and it was my job to find out basically everybody who's telling the truth. Find out who's telling the truth. We're going to say from the beginning, we need to find the 144,000. We need to find 144, and and we got to round them up, because we got to round them up because there's a harpazo coming for them. They got to get plucked up. They get them out of here. You know, get them out of here. Get them out of this world. That's where they're going. Get us out of this world. Let's harpazo us up out of here. So if it was my job to find out the truth throughout 8 years, because my job is to, well, I'm getting ready to take control. I'm getting ready to reign. But I want all the liars to think that they're coming with me. I don't know if it would either be disgustingly, sickeningly, like, how do you do it, Steve? You have all these people that are lying straight through their teeth. They even make you sick, but you have to pretend that you like them. You have to pretend that they're doing a good job. Well, they are, because they're doing the works of Satan. You have to pretend that you're still on their side, and I mean, either way, it can go either way. I mean, however your mood is, really, like, you know what the timeline is with everything. You know what every timeline is. It gets annoying sometimes when I don't know that, but you know. And when you take these people that are lying through their teeth and you have them all on one side, you know, like on your your garage, it's like 450 square feet, right? Of course it is. You take all of your lying flunkies and you put them in that space, and over in the storefront you knock down the storefront, because that storefront's getting a new front to that store, or it's just getting knocked down, one or the other. Either way, the way it was ain't going to be the way it is anymore. So again, if I was that person behind the scenes, and I knew that I'm the one in control. I mean, I have all the say. I can change my mind. I can do whatever I want, because it's on me, and they've given me the authority. I would do this, knowing the position of the world. You know, again, if I was on the inside and I am in the position where Stephen James DeShawn is, in his shoes right now, you know, surveilling anybody you want to in the world to find out if they're behind the scenes. Are they the same person behind the camera as they are in front of the camera? That's one of the main reasons why the surveillance goes personally into people's homes, into their vehicles, wherever they go, because they got to make sure that the person's still telling the truth. Because in all reality, what Steve's ultimate job is to find the truth. That's to nail it down. That's it. Oh man, to nail that down. Oh, good. Watch out for those poles. There's a pole shift coming. You know, like you know how the man-child is going to rule with a rod of iron, and you know how there's a pole shift coming with shifty change in people, shift changers. They're trying to make a pole shift using a different rod that's not made of iron, probably aluminum. It's a bad mistake. You don't want to do that. Not when you're using a pole. When you're trying to lead with a rod of aluminum. So here's how I would do it, Steve. I would do it exactly the way that you're going to do it. I would. Exactly the way. If I was in that position at that time, being the top Luciferian here in the United States, and then going from that to the top gangster in the United States. That's going to be a top gangster move. I don't know about that wing. It's a little bit too high on that car, and it's not even an 8-cylinder. I don't know why they do it. Think about the most gangsterous move in American history, in the world, is going to be when a top Luciferian leading gang stalker in America straight up just plays the crap out of all of the people that thought that they were going to rule in his kingdom when he gets to reign as, you know, king of the earth. It's just a man. I mean, every time there's been a king on earth, it's always been just a man, correct? Don't we all like We have the same problem, same flesh. Well, it's either battles or not. You either battle with your flesh or you just give in to your flesh. We all had the same, we all had or have the same mental issues where you don't know where these thoughts are coming from. You're not even consciously aware of thoughts. You just know that you think. And you got weird thoughts and you don't even know why and where it comes from. With every single heartbeat, there's a new direction of a thought that's trying to come into your head. Just channel it some way. Top gangster move in history of existence that I know of is going to be when Stephen James Deshawn flips the script. Literally flips it over. After it's done, it's flipped over, and then it's over. Because I personally, if I was a top Luciferian gang stalker here in the United States that had the world script in my hand, mingling with your people, because that's what you're doing, knowing that the rest of the world knowing it's like if I was Stephen James Deshawn, I could pop up and say whatever it is that, you know what I mean? That it doesn't matter. Because the people that don't know me, they are not going to believe Robin. They're just not going to believe him. No matter how much evidence Robin gives them, it doesn't matter. You can't prove it, and it's too hard to believe. It is. Like the king of the world, the king of kings on earth, not in heaven, is some guy living in frickin' Michigan, Linwood, Michigan. And who's going to believe that? Like, how can you even think that you would even know and find somebody? Like, you're not even from the inside, Robin. How can you even think this stuff up? Like, you were literally thinking things up, like Klecks says. You can't even think this stuff up, which means it's real and true. How can you possibly think that you've actually found the person that's gonna rule, America? Like, whatever, man. I know Steve gets a kick out of that. It's like he can see that I can see clearly through all of it, through everything, and there's basically nothing that he can hide besides the damn dates as to when the events are gonna happen. And I know three different things it's like you take care of what's really going to happen, and then give a 3-year prolonged date kind of thing, and then give it like another 3.5 something years later on down the line, another 1.5 years of laying on your side after 2 years of the revelation sign in heavens, 9/23/2017. That might have been the elite's timeline for like the Messiah watch, like the 2-year Messiah watch. But that wasn't God's timeline, and his dates aren't the same as the elite's dates that they set. But whatever, you have a 2-year period from September 23rd, 17, and then you lay on your side after 2 years going into 2019, which is another 1.5 years. That lands somewhere in... Does that land for March, April 3rd, 2nd or 3rd, 2021? It's fine, whatever. But the thing is, the shit has to change as we get into the new year of the Vision 2020 for the elite. It's lights out, man. It's darkness from that. They're going to kick the new year off in darkness. And that's what they do. That's what the elite want to do. That's what they're trying to do. Because you know how the opposite of darkness is light? So when you want to start the new year off with a bunch of light, this year, start the new year off with no light. Cut the electricity. Blame it on an EMP missile surge that happened from North Korea that wipes out New York City just like that, and then it just continues on. You have like 3 days of that till you get to like the third or something, or like the third midnight or something, and then you click the power back on because we got to see the show. I always gotta remember this: the power going off to the entire world, it has to be the last 3 days. The last 3 days of, because they want you to see every possible day that they produced with this 21-day movie. They need you to see every single day, because if you don't, you won't be brainwashed. I need to see every single day too, because I want to see I don't want to miss a damn one episode. I don't want to miss 1 second of any of their episodes with this 21-day movie. So here's how I would get Jonathan Klecks and them. I would sit down at one table and lie to him, of course. And say, like, I'm working with you for sure. Robin, yeah, we're going to get rid of him. We're going to get rid of anybody else that tells the truth. We're going to get rid of everybody. And then 100 days comes around from the beginning of Klecks' timeline. Because he wanted to tell you, he wanted to give you a timeline as to like when this happens on this date, and then this date confirms it, and then this happens, and then that day confirms it. That's 4, 3, 2, 1. Zigzag back and forth. When the 100th day comes around and it's time for no lying, shut down everybody that's telling the truth. Now again, the entire world's not going to know. They're not going to have any clue about the first shutdown. They're not going to have any clue. It doesn't even matter. It's just, we're going to start seeing the wars beginning, escalating. I'm still debating when the 10th comes around and the truth is shut down. Is it an immediate shutdown, or are they going to freaking prolong it all the way up until the beginning of the year, and then start? Because is it going to be a 30-day decree? Where they give you 30 days, but they're going to shut you down immediately. Like there's a 30-day harvest type ordeal where they're going to be harvesting for 30 days. But they already know who needs to get shut down. They don't have to search any longer. They can just give you the strike button and you're done, just like that. So I don't know. I want it to happen immediately. I want it to shut down on the 9th, the 10th, just like it said it would. Which is exactly Klecks' 100 days, which lines up pretty well. So I'm looking forward to the 9th. So what I would do if I was Steven is exactly what he's doing. If I was him at this particular time, being caught in the middle, being fully on one side, and then now switching, flip-flopping over, but still having to pretend that he's on that side, but knowing damn well he's not. It's not that hard to do, because I can see, you know how Klecks talks? They take the Bible, they say what they want to say evilly, and then you can interpret it as he's saying something good through the verse. That you can literally make any Bible verse mean two different things with your interpretations of it, and that's just a flat-out fact. It can be the exact opposite of what it's read, because if you don't understand it spiritually, you'll get lost. But you can flip it, switch it whatever way you want, or you can read it literally, or you can read it spiritually and get the third disposition of the verse of what it really means. So after Look, it's coming to Philadelphia. December 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. September 11th was the first 9/11, 2001. The second 9/11, well, look at it like this. When Klecks shows you his little timestamps, little images that he has, and he shows you a Wednesday, and he shows you October 2nd and a 9/11. It's 9/11 on Wednesday, October 2nd. Well, if you take October and then the 2nd, that leaves you with 102. When you take out the 0, it leaves you with 1-2, which is 12. The 12th month. When you take the 9 and the 2nd, and you take the 2nd and the 9 and 11, when you take the October 2nd, you're taking the 1-2. When you're taking the 11, you have 12-11, and you have the second 9/11. You have everything in that one video, that one caption. You have the 1, you got the 2, you got the 11, you got the 2nd, you got the 9, you got the 11. That's just the first. That's the next first 9/11, second 9/11 date that I'm putting out there is December 11th, 2019. Because all of the no lying that comes into play, the new rules and regulations that they're gonna implement, YouTube lining up the same day, 100 days later, knowing that in between, Kleck has been leaving timestamps of his days, because it's 100%, it's 100 days, and it started August 31st. And on October 7th, he had the 37 number at the table, letting you know that that was day number 37. 50 days from that day, he showed you his strength in the ability to create something that looks like a tornado to destroy a Home Depot. Go figure, a Home Depot in Texas. And then 75 days later, he wanted to show you that from the Home Depot that was destroyed, which was number 75 Home Depot in Dallas, Texas, on October 20th, 2019, which is exactly 50 days from the other shooting at Odessa, Texas, Home Depot, killing 5 and injuring 21, as in May 21st, when he began his reign. I think it was 2018. Yeah, after 7 years. When nobody's seen anything happen from the warning that Harold Camping gave us 7 years, and then they took over. So from that time that he took over, 5/21, and that 50-mile-per-hour zone, and then 800 feet to go. When you're taking it at 1,600 furlongs, it's halfway there. 50%, 50 miles per hour, 50 days. Halfway done, 50%. Klecks showed us the second Home Depot. It's about the Home Depots. I knew that for months on end because of Stephen James DeShawn showing his Home Depot bucket at his boat show video. And then just knowing that he hired Juan from Home Depot, Justin saying now, and Steve just wondering, like, how do you know that? How do you know these things, Justin? How the frick do you know that? That's exactly what I did. So that Home Depot was mentioned again in the news, Dallas, Texas, 50 days later, Home Depot number 75. And then it just so happens that the 75th day from August 31st, which is the day that Klecks is showing you the envelope that he received, that the paid postage stamp, $4.35, $4.35, and then he met everybody at Home Depot 435 before the Home Depot that was destroyed at 75. He did that beforehand, leading you breadcrumbs to the timeline of the 75th day, just showing you a little event that takes place over in August 31st. August High School, because August 31st, 2019 is what started this 100% no lying. That's the timeline. That's him. That's what his building is all about that he built. That little thing that's in the middle of the road that looks exactly like, technically, William Penn building, because he's going to run that thing over. That's in a circle. It's in the middle of the street, laying in like a dead bird, like pamphlet, like this, because he got saved in an alleyway that has that bird over there, that airplane that crashed into 1400 Cherry Lane at Broad Street. Right there at 1400 exactly, Cherry Lane, with the cherry on top. When Klecks tells you the cherry's on top, and at the same time that Home Depot gets destroyed, building number 75, and not even but 200 yards away, which is exactly how far 1400 and Cherry and Broad Street is in Philadelphia, PA, to the William Penn building. It's 200 yards, basically exactly. If I go and take a tape measure, well, I would need a long tape measure, but if I take it and add it up, I'll guarantee it's going to come to about 200 yards away. The church lighthouse in Dallas, Texas was also destroyed, and that was at 1400 Church. I don't know, Robin Lane and Shiloh at Robin Lane or something. You wait till Shiloh comes. 1400 Lighthouse Church Road, or whatever the street name is, was also destroyed. And as the guy is telling you about the shooting that happened in August High School with the whale on the corner, that was showing you the whale in the corner of the video of when the Home Depot got destroyed on October 20th, 2019. It was showing you the snake, the arm around the whale, and then it shows you the school that has snake eyes at the top and a corner like this, like a whale, with a little eye over here because there was a book bag on the ground to make it look like it's a whale eye. And as the guy is telling you that he's standing there, and 75 yards is where the gates opened up, is where the shooting took place, in the extracurricular activity when the crisis actors show up to school at 7 a.m. before everybody else gets there. That's when it happened. So once they had the doors open up to the gates, you have the gates in the horns, man. You have the gates that open up in the William Penn building right there. It's right in the middle of the street. That's the ultimate target in the end. Watch. You'll see. There's nothing I can do about it. I can only tell you it's going to happen. And then when it does happen, I graduate. Then I finally get to stop making predictions. I get to stop, because number one, when Philadelphia's destroyed, well, so am I. I mean, so is the communications. One way or another, they'll find a way to do it. Just shut down. All of a sudden the phone companies have a problem with their phone line. All of a sudden the Comcast, the buildings got hit. I don't have any cable anymore. No Wi-Fi. Something as simple as that. They can make sure it happens. 100%. No lying. Well, you can ignore all of those signs that point directly at Jonathan Klecks, knowing exactly what's going to happen. And dropping more hints than I mean, he's just literally giving himself away, putting himself in a prison, if it's real, okay? After it's over and said and done. So 100 days lands on December 9th. And December 9th happens to be the exact day at midnight that YouTube says if your YouTube channel isn't commercially viable, you're just getting the hook. And again, who's going to know that? Only the people watching. Because you got to think of it like this. If you're not watching my channel, you're not going to know anything about it unless you watched Richie from Boston's channel, or unless you heard it from some other mouthpiece. Other than that, you're not even going to know. So how do you think 7 billion people are going to know? They're not. They're not going to know the difference if I'm up or not. With those 21 days of, they're not going to have any clue that there's no truth on YouTube whatsoever. They just won't know. But again, if I was Steve and everybody shut down on that day, and it's time for him to show his power and his godly might, I would do this, Steve. This is what I would do if I were you. And I swear to God, this is exactly what I would do. If I was in your position, there was a person like myself on the other end that I know popped up out of nowhere, never had social media in his life, and all of a sudden, the past 2.5 years, just hasn't shut up. Just has not shut up. Yeah, I did. I don't know what happened on the 16th of, no, of course, right. I don't know what happened on the 16th of, yeah, right. On the 16th of December, I uploaded a video. I don't know where it went. It just straight disappeared. I don't know what happened, but other than that, it was basically 2 years straight. But I did do a video, made it, and it's nothing was there for that day. It's pretty weird. So anyway, what I would do, Steve, is after 3.5 days, once 12/12 does come around, and it's your time because you rule 12/12, midnight, I would put me back up. I would just put me back up on YouTube, because you know Klecks going to know immediately, because I'm going to upload a video. And then you want to see his jaw drop, put Justin back up too, just the two of us. Just leave two of us up there, because I know you got to play this role out like two witnesses in the world. Even if there really aren't two witnesses, you still got to play them anyway. So put both of us.